The food fight scene is probably, for lack of a better word, the core of this play.
The major problem at the table is that Helen's eating from everyone else's plate. She just walks around and sticks her nasty, grubby hands in everyone else's plate and takes their food and eats it. And Annie's first challenge is to get her to eat from her own plate, to stay out of her plate, to stay in her chair, then to eat with a spoon.
We see for the first time these really two very strong personalities facing off.
Helen throws this huge tantrum and Annie kicks the family out of the room and locks Helen in.
The breakfast scene is kind of an epic adventure, and I think is the longest continuous stage directions written in a play. I think it's like 4 or 5 pages of straight stage directions, so it's italics for what Helen does, what Annie does.
Annie tries to get Helen to eat with a spoon, and then Helen starts throwing spoons all over the room, and there's slapping and pulling hair and kicking and biting and
a lot of picking up and carrying, a lot of temper tantrums, a lot of fighting. It's a lot of fun.
And the scene is preceded by a conversation about the Civil War, where the son and the father are arguing both sides of the Civil War. Annie being from the North and Helen being from the South, it's also a metaphor for the Civil War. And what we discover is that they, just like what we discovered in the Civil War, the North and the South need each other to coexist. And Annie and Helen are inseparable as their lives move forward because they don't really have a purpose in their lives without the other.